If you're hired for a job and you're asked to bring something and you don't have it, you're going to have to go out and buy it?
Hey, in some cases, they're actually saying that or indirectly saying that, inferring it. Employees say, well, I need a smartphone anyway, or I need a tablet. Here's a reason, especially if I can get the job. So it actually helps the employee in that case.
And what type of workers are being asked to bring these devices to work?
Really, it's spread across the board. Obviously, no matter what the position, just pretty much everybody's got a smartphone now. So it's really spanning all different aspects, all different management levels.
I see some legal problems with this because first, when you take a job, one of the things in an employee handbook, it says we own your email, we own your computer devices, and therefore we have a right, which they do, to look through it at any time and to monitor it. But if you're using your own personal equipment, I'm not sure employers get those rights anymore.
Yeah, that's a really nice point there, because it should be stated clearly, as you mentioned, in the employee handbook, and employees we have to realize that it could be scanned. It could be taken in, looked at. Most employers do not do that. It's very rare instances that I've heard of, but they have the right to do that, especially if you sign off in the employee handbook. So you want to be obviously careful what you have on there besides work-related things.
And besides a legal perspective, there is also some security risks that companies are dealing with here because you're dealing with equipment that's not in your control.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest threat from the employer side. The fear is, what if somebody has apps that they're downloading, it's got malicious viruses or things like that, and now they connect into the wireless system where they're connecting with their company computer. That virus now has a conduit to get on there, and that's really dangerous, besides just the obvious taking the classified or confidential information outside of the workplace.
So if you're an employee, let's say, and the truth is, even if you don't bring your own devices to work, you are using your own devices. Well, what should an employee do? How do you divide up what's yours and what's not yours, and how do you keep the material safe? And how does an employer protect itself?
Well, obviously, the most basic thing, have your phone, a basic password on it there so nobody can pick it up and just access it. Of course, backing that up and not keeping sensitive things and transferring it on your phone. It's very hard to do that. People have to realize they need to make a conscientious effort not to bring home email and have backups and everything else. So it's not really working well, and that's why it's such a big problem, especially with security.
Real quick, in 15 seconds, who's doing this? Big companies or small companies?
Mostly big companies are implementing it, but now even small businesses, which represents the majority of the companies, are now doing it too, implementing these BYOD procedures.
Okay. Scott Schober, we'll have you back on again soon to talk about this as this issue grows.
Thank you.